All right. Let me backtrack. We'll work in reverse order with the NFL. The Vikings now 0-3. I thought that was the most pivotal game this weekend. And the reason why I say that is if the Chargers had lost, I wonder if the Chargers were going to stay with Brandon Staley. They ended up winning. They probably should have lost. And then the Vikings losing at home. Kirk D. Cousins played well until he didn't. And at the very end, the crowd noise, they said they couldn't get the right play in, and they ended up losing that game. The Chargers go for it in their own territory, 4th and 1 with under 2 minutes to go. They're up 4, and I'm going, even if you get it, I might fire the coach. They got it, or at least they thought they did, and then Minnesota takes over, has a chance to win the game, and should have won the game. Yes, Paulie.
That's one when you're watching on TV. I was trying to figure out, like, Brandon Staley's going for it, 4th and 1. I know the Vikings are moving up and down the field, but lessen the odds. Help your defense just a touch.
Justin Herbert completed 40 of 47 for 405 and 3 touchdowns, but they had their chance there. I think the big news, the big headline was what happened with the Miami Dolphins, the first team to score 70 in a game since 1966. And when they were showing the graphic of the teams that have scored 70 in a game, when the other pictures they're showing are in black and white, you know it's been a long time.
That's never a good sign.
No. When's the last time this happened? Let's bring in a black and white photo. Here's 1951. I'm going, oh, my goodness. Oh, that's bad. Bad. And it's been suggested by a few people that maybe a wheel of punishment could be at stake because next week it's the Bears and the Broncos.
Oh, they're going to play that? They're going to play that
They
game?
are going to play it. They are going to it. You can't flex out of it where you can flex out of it that you don't have to watch it. But yes, they do have to play. Bears, Broncos. All right. Mike McDaniel had a chance to go for the all-time scoring record, and the Dolphins head coach had this to say.
It felt like chasing points and chasing a record. That's not what we came to the game to do. That doesn't have a bearing on the overall season outcome. I saw it as, in that 10 times out of 10, you concede and kneel down in those situations because there was a attainable record that was cool, but the message that I thought it would send wasn't really in line with how I view things.
Huh? I have no idea what he said other than let's not chase points there. Then, okay, take a knee. All right. Here's Sean Payton. It didn't go well in the post-game press conference.
I know that you said it's embarrassing, but this is kind of an historic game. I mean, it's
I'm aware.
Third time the team has scored 70 points, over 700.
What's the question?
I mean,
what's the question?
How do you feel about it being
I just finished telling you.
Historically embarrassing.
Next question.
All right.
Oh.
Just to clarify, it hasn't been done since 1943, Coach.
What's the question? What's the question?
I know you said it's embarrassing, but how
what's
does it
the
feel?
question?
Historically embarrassing, I guess.
But how does it make you feel?
Here is the Broncos head coach after the loss.
Those next 2 days, we'll have a lot to look at and discuss. Again, it's disappointing. I'm at a loss for words because I've never been I've been on the other side of some games like that, and then every once in a while in this league, you get your butt whipped, but this was more than that.
Got humbled. Now, what'll happen is we'll focus on the Broncos being so bad. Man, we should be focusing on how good the Dolphins are. The Dolphins weren't even at full strength, by the way. They didn't even have Jalen Waddle. They were down 2 running backs, and they put up 70. Man, that's where not everybody gets on the team plane, it feels like, at this, after the game, it's like, no, not you. You're going to stay and get your own transportation back home. But 50, and it was a year ago today, I believe, that Tua suffered that injury against the Buffalo Bills when he got his head snapped back. And here we are, and yes, he is the leading candidate for MVP. A lot of people looked at that prior to this weekend and said, Tua, MVP? If he stays healthy with that offense, he's going to put up incredible numbers. That's always been the big possibility, the big roadblock there. Could he stay healthy? Because they do have the weapons, and Mike McDaniel is a very, very bright offensive-minded guy. Yes, Paul?
Tua's been sacked 1 time this season.
Yeah.
He's been hit 4 times in 3 games.
Yeah. That sounds like a stat of the day to me, Marvin.
Ow! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! Stat of the day! This is the stat of the day!
Melissa Etheridge, Kansas City Chiefs fan. Stat of the day brought to you by Panini America, the official trading cards of the Dan Patrick Show. So you had a 70 burger put up on the Broncos. You had the Cowboys losing to Arizona. Oh, but Tay-Tay was in Kansas City to see her man, Taylor Swift. That seemed to be the big headline. Oh, my God, Taylor Swift's at a football game. Now, the Swifties are going, wait a minute, can you explain the rules of football? We're not familiar with them. But Taylor's there. I don't know if she understood football, but she's there to watch Travis Kelce. And here is Patrick Mahomes talking about Taylor being in the building.
He told me at like the last minute, but there's some things with Trav where he kind of just says it, and you're like, you don't know if it's true or not. He says it so calmly. It was like Friday. He was just like, yeah, I think she's coming to the game today, and then just moved about his business. I mean, to the game this weekend, and then moved about his business. So you're kind of like, I guess that just happens. I guess so. I don't know. It's just Travis.
Yeah. They showed her up in the suite, and everybody was going crazy. It's like, oh my God, Taylor's here. Travis scores a touchdown. Then they end up leaving together. And then Jared Payton, Walter Payton's son, gets a picture video of them leaving. You got a convertible. As Marvin said, it looked like the end of the movie Grease. You know,
We go together.
Yeah. But it was a wild scene there. There were a couple of things in there that people are going to gloss over. Nobody was asking Patrick Mahomes about his ankle after the game. Right? They asked him 3 questions, I think, about Taylor Swift. I mean, come on, guys. We're covering a football game here, and all of a sudden, People Magazine unfolded. You got to ask about the ankle because that ankle has been an issue here. And he left the game. One more question about Taylor Swift? No.
What's your favorite album?
And I don't need all the highlights or columns with all the Taylor Swift song titles. Okay? Yes, Mark.
You don't?
No.
So you're not telling teams like the Cowboys to shake it off today, Dan?
No.
I'm so hip.
Yeah. But you had him ask a lot of questions. Here's another thing. I mean, once again, Taylor Swift was at the game. Justin Fields got his bell rung. Fourth quarter. And he needed to be helped. You know, DJ Moore, his receiver, had to point him in the right direction. He was walking in the wrong direction. He goes to the sidelines. Well, game's a blowout. He got his bell rung. He's not going to play anymore. Well, look who comes back. Justin Fields. There is no way in the world I could believe that he would pass a concussion protocol. I mean, did they even test him for it? He was headed in the wrong direction. I was shocked. And then he's back on the field. He's down 38. What is the upside there? Get a couple more reps under his belt? He's not going to remember it? Like, I'm going, oh, my God. Also, I mean, there are quite a few things, as there always are. The officiating in the Ravens and the Colts game, there were a couple of calls late in the game. Now, people will say the following, and they have. Yeah, but it shouldn't have been that close to begin with. Okay, but get the call right. And I thought there were some questionable calls there. The Browns look good. Defense looked good. Deshaun Watson looked good. If you're a Titans fan, you got to be at least having an itchy trigger finger where you go. Is it time to pull the trigger on Ryan Tannehill here? Because that was a less than inspiring performance. Last night, the Raiders with some questionable clock management towards the end of the game with Josh McDaniel. Do they go for a touchdown? Nope, we're going to kick a field goal. And I'm going, I don't understand your math, but I was never good at math. Apparently, Josh isn't either. But that's the NFL, and we haven't touched on everything there. Robert Saleh, the Jets head coach, got in front of the media yesterday, and he has to say the following. I don't know if he believes the following, but he has to say it.
Right now, Zach is the best player he's who gives us the best chance to win. And, so that's basically that would be the cleanest answer I could give you.
Cleanest.
Is that the correct answer? Give me another spin on that, Marvin.
Right now, Zach is the best player he's who gives us the best chance to win. And, so that's basically that would be the cleanest answer I could give you.
It wasn't clean, by the way. And it's not the right answer. But is it all Zach Wilson? Is it all Aaron Rodgers? This team is that bad? We had questions about the offensive line. I'm watching yesterday. They put a lot of pressure on Zach Wilson. And I was focusing on the Cardinals game and their philosophy against the Cowboys. And I thought, okay, the Cardinals ran the ball. And these weren't just the running backs were making, a lot out of a little. They were opening up holes against the Cowboys. And my point the previous week was, you're playing the Cowboys. Why not run the football? You have a couple of good running backs. Maybe that is a better philosophy. And that way I can de-emphasize Micah Parsons. And that's what the Cardinals did. They neutralized Micah Parsons, and they surprised everybody by winning that game. You're running the ball 30 times. But that would be my philosophy. I'm going against the Cowboys. I'm going to run the football. I'm going to keep running the football. And then maybe I get some first downs, and then maybe I can set up my quarterback. Because Josh Dobbs didn't throw any picks yesterday. And that surprised me a lot. That Arizona back-to-back weeks played really, really competitive football. Here's Dak Prescott on the loss in Arizona.
This was a humbling loss in that sense. Obviously, we've had a lot of adversity just throughout the week, and it wasn't easy. Obviously, it wasn't easy. Nobody's making excuses. We thought we had a great opportunity to come in here, even with the adversity, and get a win, and we didn't.
No, they didn't. You got New England coming up. You don't want to get into these must-win situations, but you just want to make sure you get into these situations where you are winning a game you're supposed to win, or you should win, because you know who's looming. The Niners. The Niners in 2 weeks. Yes, Heaton.
Just back to Zach Wilson real quick. Tony Romo was doing, I guess, a good job of just killing Zach Wilson because he would show, this is when the pass needs to come. You know what I mean? Like, he was showing the routes, right? And here's, Garrett, he's out, he's open. Throw it right now. Mm-hmm. Instead, he waited another 5 seconds and then threw it to him too late. And he kept doing that over and over and over again. Look, he's got throws to make. He's just not seeing them, or he's seeing them too late.
But this is what happens to a young quarterback. It's happening to Justin Fields. It's not happening to C.J. Stroud. It'll probably happen to Bryce Young, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis when he gets a chance. You want to hold the ball a little bit longer because you could do that in college, and you want to make something happen. You want to make a play happen. Look at the careers. Peyton Manning, if a play blew up, he just threw it down. Tom Brady, play blew up, throw it down. These younger quarterbacks don't want to do that. They're so used to making a play. Zach Wilson didn't have a demanding schedule when he played at BYU. You're used to holding the ball, make a play, run this way, run that way. You can't do that in the NFL. You got to have a moment. There's your moment. Decide on your moment and commit to your moment. And he has no confidence whatsoever. Zero. And the fans yesterday, the one guy who lost his dentures when he was yelling so loud. And
I hate that video.
Great job. Great job of the camera work. This guy is angry, man. He is angry, and his teeth get ready to fall out. I'm like, whoa, hold on there, cowboy. Yeah, Paulie.
They were breaking down clips of C.J. Stroud of the Texans, and even when he breaks the pocket, he stops for a second and takes another look down the field. He only ran the ball 3 times yesterday. Yeah. No design runs, and his stats are fantastic. 20 for 30, 2 touchdowns, 280 yesterday.
But he looks comfortable. That's what I always look for with a young quarterback. Are you comfortable? Zach Wilson, not comfortable. Now, you could say because he has the offensive line. But if you're not going to get to C.J. Stroud, you're not going to sack him, boy, your confidence level goes through the roof. And that's what you saw yesterday.